Supreme Court today has decided that the 11 men who were convicted with a life sentence for gang rape and murder in the Bilkis Bano case during the Gujarat communal riots of 2002 and was set free by the Gujarat government will have to now go back to jail. Supreme Court has also said that the Gujarat government was not the right government, so it was the inappropriate government to have made this decision at all, and it was incompetent. There was a lack of competence in the way the decision was made. The court has also decided that these convicts will be given 2 weeks' time to surrender before the jail authorities, go back to jail and serve their sentence. Let's take a look at this entire history of this case. Now, it starts back in March 2002. In the middle of the communal riots in Gujarat, Bilkis Bano and her entire family, she was at that point 5 months pregnant, she and her entire family fled from their home and their village. And while they were fleeing, a mob of 20 to 30 men stopped them. Out of those men, 11 men whom Bilkis recognized because they were her neighbors, gang raped Bilkis, who I told you was pregnant at the time, her mother, and 3 other women in her family. In that very violent attack, 7 of her family members were killed, including her 3-year-old daughter, whose head was smashed against a rock in front of Bilkis Bano. Bilkis Bano was the only surviving member of her family, and the only reason she survived was because her attackers thought she was dead and they left her to die. She was grievously injured and naked when she regained consciousness, and she went through the forest and ran for her life to find help in a neighboring village. From then began a 15-year journey where this one individual, this one woman went case to case, appeal to appeal, tariq to tariq, looking for justice. The case had to be transferred out of Gujarat to the Bombay High Court because of fears of tampering of evidence. In 2017, the 11 men were convicted with a life sentence for gang rape and murder. Look at last year. In August 15 last year, the Gujarat government, as part of its remission policy, released these 11 convicts from jail. There was global outcry. Not only were they released on Independence Day, they received a hero's welcome where they were garlanded and celebrated when they came out of jail. The fact that they were released on Independence Day and only 3 months before the Gujarat election, this was considered a political statement. In fact, the Gujarat MLA from Godhra made a statement saying, "I don't know whether these men committed a crime or not. Their conduct in jail was very good. They are Brahmins, they are men with good sanskar," end quote. NDTV, in fact, in an investigation found that these men had received parole or leave during their term in jail to leave the jail and come back many times. During those terms, they had actually molested other women and there were cases filed against them. So the idea of good conduct was also brought under question. Bilkis Bano in November approached the Supreme Court for justice, challenging this remission order, challenging the release of her attackers from jail. In March 2023, well after the Gujarat elections, the Supreme Court served notice to the Gujarat government in response to the plea by Bilkis Bano, challenging those releases. And the court said the offense in question was horrendous, and it said it will not be overwhelmed by emotions and it will decide the matter basis of law. Turn to today, when the court in this significant ruling has overturned the Gujarat government's release of these men and sent them back to jail. The court has also strongly criticized one specific convict, one convict called Ira Jha, for deceiving the court by suppressing material and presenting misleading facts during that hearing. The Supreme Court has stated that Ira Jha sought a directive from the state of Gujarat by concealing important information. The court has also censured the state of Gujarat for aligning with convicts, emphasizing that the government should have filed a review petition against the court's May 2022 judgment. Furthermore, the court has highlighted that it was improper for the Gujarat government to infringe upon the Maharashtra government's authority of premature release. Justice for Bilkis Bano has finally been served again as her long battle seems to continue. But for women across the country, when these men were released by the Gujarat government, known convicted rapists, it raised a question about the priority and the messaging of safety for women in our country.